Imagine you're in a crowded elevator and it breaks down. You begin to sweat, trapped in 10 square feet with 10 other people. But don't worry, you've got e-instants from New Hampshire iLottery right on your phone. So relax, play those games and win. Don't worry about dangling in a metal box 5 stories high. It's fine, just another Tuesday. New Hampshire iLottery e-instant games, one of the many ways to play your way.
Welcome to Old Men Yell at Cloud Live with your host, Jim Schultz and Patrick S. Berry. Also featuring Christopher Brown.
Yay!
With musical guest, Perturbator. And here's your host, Eric Marks.
Wait, no one told me I'd be responsible for this. What am I supposed to do here? No one told me!
I'm just kidding. You're not the host.
Oh, thank God.
I'm the host this week. But you are my esteemed guest. Repeat guest.
I'm trying to remember, what album did I... This was going back like 6 or 7 years, isn't it?
No, we haven't been doing the show for that long. You did Boards of Canada.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Campfire Head Phase.
Yeah.
So, as an aside...
2 or 3 years ago.
Before we get going into this, I do want to talk about one thing. I think it's adorable that you guys say, I'm the host this week, when I first suggested hosting, meaning like, I will host the recording of the show at my house because it is my pick. But then you guys always took it to be like, oh, well, I'm the host this time.
Well, I mean...
I just don't really know how else to delineate it. I mean, one of us picks every week. I guess I can just say it's my pick. I don't have to say I'm the host. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be said. I think the listener can probably assume as much based on the fact that you're kind of running the show.
Right. I mean, we're on episode something
66
right now, 60-something. And yeah, I think you're right. I think I can retire that from now on. I'll go with head honcho.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
Big
that's
cheese.
pretty good.
Head scroncho.
I'm going to be the main bitch in charge.
I'm going to be the host.
Bottom bitch. This
All
guy.
right, this is your main bitch in charge this week, Jim. And
MBIC.
yeah, yep. So we're getting a little electronic this week with Mr. Perturbator, the Uncanny Valley, released in 2016. Now, Eric, this might be a bit of a personal question, but other than today, when was the last time you perturbated?
The last time I perturbated... Oh, shit. Last week?
Were you alone?
Yes. It was on the treadmill. I'm
He's
very
lying.
talented.
He's lying. I was there.
I
told you to get out of my crawl space.
Listen, I just need to stay there for another week or so until things cool down.
All right, fine. Well, at least stop taking the Mr. Pibb out of the fridge.
All right. Fair enough.
As I always say, if you're able to get into a crawl space from outside, then, the problem is on the homeowner, not the person in the crawl space.
Yeah,
I mean, the building inspector should have brought that up.
If you can pull that off, you definitely earned the right to be in that crawl space.
Well, and plus, breathing in all that Owens Corning insulation probably means you won't be living very long inside of the crawl space. So it's a problem that does take care of itself.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. We already went over this.
Oh,
It'll
yeah,
insulate your
right,
insides from dangerous toxins.
I have a diploma in floor food science, so I know this.
Yes, you were awarded that.
Oh, I
today,
saw that.
Yeah, signed by me and Oliver the Chimpanzee.
Yes.
Excellent.
I also perturbated recently. It caused me to go to the ER last Thursday while I was cutting an English muffin. So, yeah, I perturbated all over the counter.
You shouldn't have done that at the same time. You should have. I don't know. You don't perturbate where you eat. You know,
In this workaday world,
they
we have to
teach you that in
save all this
kindergarten.
time,
Yeah, right. Like you're not saving any time.
especially when you cut your hand open.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
'Cause now you got to account all the pert juice that flies out of your hand.
Like that's where Pert Plus comes from, right? The dandruff shampoo.
I think so.
Yeah,
short for Perturbator Plus.
I was digging through my head to make the joke.
Yeah. So just to clear that up, I was story time. Last Thursday, while I was on vacation, I decided to wake up and make myself a little bit of breakfast while my lovely lady was off running errands. And I guess you're supposed to put a frozen English muffin in the microwave for a few seconds before trying to cut it, because I tried to cut the frozen English muffin and slipped and sliced my hand open to the bone. And then promptly went to the emergency room. The craziest part about it was that when it happened, it didn't even hurt, and it really didn't bleed that much, but I just kind of went, shit!
Yeah, that's a rational reaction to lacerating yourself like that.
Yeah, I
now,
think
if you
so.
used a bandsaw, you would have actually gotten a nice clean cut, and that would have been like seriously the smoothest English muffin you've ever
See, that's
had.
fun. That's funny because a friend of mine was making fun of me and was saying, "Oh, well, Jimmy can't do this because he tried to cut an English muffin with a bandsaw." But no, it was a serrated bread knife, and it cut very cleanly. It was very sharp, and
Through your hand.
yeah, I did. Yeah, not through the English muffin, through my hand. So apparently, it's better for meat than bread. And the funny part is I already had I made it through one of them. I cut an English muffin and I had it in the toaster, and I was like, you know what, this isn't gonna cut it. I need a second one. So that's when the incident happened. And Emily's got a pretty good picture of the crime scene, because I basically dropped everything I was doing, grabbed the towel, wrapped my hand, and headed right for the ER.
You left the English muffin right there in the toaster?
Oh, I shut the toaster off, but the English muffin that I hurt myself on was still sitting on the counter, and Emily came home and took a picture of it and called it the crime scene. And it's just like, I'll show it to you guys, but it's just a picture of an English muffin with like cut very horribly and the knife there. And she also found blood in the bathroom, and she was like, "Did you go take a piss before you went to the ER? Why is there blood in the bathroom?"
That's a smart idea. I mean, you do it before a trip. You're going to be in there for a while. You know,
You're going to be waiting a while, yeah.
you don't want to miss your you don't want to miss your chance. You don't want to be in the bathroom while they call your name in like that. That's embarrassing. So that actually did answer a question that I was going to ask, which was, did you eventually eat this English muffin?
No, I didn't. And you know what the real kicker is was it yesterday? It was either yesterday or 2 days ago. I was rummaging through the fridge, and I found English muffins in the fridge that were not frozen. So,
Oh, God damn it.
and I was like, I turned to Emily. I went, "Did you just buy these?" And she was like, "No, those have been in there." And I was just like, "What the fuck?" There were perfectly unfrozen English muffins in here the whole fucking time. But yeah, no, I'm healing pretty good. 11 stitches. Yeah, it was a good time. It was my first time rushing to the emergency room. I made it through 33 years without having to do that, so I think that's pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, and actually, just on the topic of different saws you could have used, if you used a table saw, that would have been a very clean cut, because my dad used an old table saw blade once, and it cut clean through his finger.
Nice. Yeah,
Nice.
Emily because I called Emily as I was driving to the hospital and was like, "Hey, don't panic. I'm going to the emergency room. I cut my hand really bad, and I don't know if I'm going to have a reception." So I didn't want her to get home and be like, "Where the hell did he go?" and see blood all over the kitchen. and just an English muffin sitting there with a knife and just blood all over the bathroom.
God,
Jim,
I knew we
did you
should
do
have let
that
Patrick
thing
sit in the
again?
crawl space for so long.
What was that, Eric?
I knew we shouldn't have let Patrick stay in the crawl space.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't do a lot of things with me.
So I didn't tell her what happened. I just told her I cut my hand. So she automatically assumed I cut my hand with the saw working on the basement. And, yeah. So it was my Thursday. How are you all doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I turned 36 over the weekend.
Yeah, you did.
So
I
I'm officially an older fart.
yeah, you got
I
to,
was.
did you decide on what dad album you're going to focus on this year?
I mean, I think I'm already doing it it's already in progress with the Todd Rundgren thing.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess that's kind of been my thing this year. But I guess you're right. I should do something a little bit more overtly dad.
May I make a
So
suggestion?
like, yeah, you got Bruce Springsteen. What was last year? I think it was Neil Young a couple years ago. You guys got any suggestions?
Steely Dan.
Oh,
He
I
already
already love Steely Dan.
loves Steely Dan.
No, they're
recommend
already
this.
my one of
What
my
is that? I
faves
thought I
from-
looked at that
from-
real quick and I thought that was Mariah Carey. All right. Anyways, let's move on. So there really wasn't much online about this album other than that cool little blurb that Patrick posted in the chat. But I'll give you a little background about Mr. Perturbator here, Mr. James Kent. So
Very French name, by
he
the
is
way.
he is a Frenchman for sure. Yeah, James Kent. He goes by the name Perturbator, and he is actually a guitarist and kind of had like a metal background. So since 2012, he has produced electronic music inspired by cyberpunk culture and with inspiration from movies such as Akira, Ghost in the Shell, and The Running Man. He uses a variety of software synths in his production, such as emulators of old vintage synths like the OBX or the CS80. Since his debut album, Night Driving Avenger, he has released 4 full-length albums, the latest of which is New Model on Blood Music label, and has performed several live shows. Several of his tracks were featured in 2012 game Hotline Miami and its 2015 sequel Hot Miami 2. Wrong number. Perturbator's EP Sexualizer was released in part of to officially release the song Miami Disco, and as a way to thank the developers of Hotline Miami, the success of the...
Do I
What?
do I have to send this guy to horny jail?
You might have to.
He's got Sexualizer. He's got the alternate album cover for this one, which has titties, TIDDIAS, by the way.
Satanic ones.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's it. That's enough. That's enough right there to say that he's that he's a bugger. That's right. I'm just kidding.
He's an outright.
I'm just
sex
kidding.
pest.
I'm not making any real claims. Do not take that out of context.
Oh, anyways.
Though, having said
Perturbator-
that, maybe some saltpeter would go a long way with this guy.
Perturbator released his 4th full-length album, The Uncanny Valley, on the 6th of May 2016 through Blood Music on a range of formats including digital CD, vinyl, and cassette tape, which I don't fucking get, but okay. The album was met with generally positive reviews, with Metal Sucks and Bloody Disgusting both writing in praise of it. Some versions of the album also included a bonus EP, with Kent writing that the first 3 songs complement the themes covered within the Uncanny Valley, and the final track, Verse Us, is a demo from the Uncanny Valley writing sessions that fits the mood and atmosphere of the album, but didn't quite make it into the final cut. Bloody Disgusting gave the album a 5 out of 5 and wrote that the Uncanny Valley is sure to not only please fans of the genre, but also win over newcomers. And with that,
You know
we
that.
dive in to the Uncanny Valley. And I'm very I couldn't really read Patrick during the chat. He was getting a little spicy, but I'm not sure how he's gonna feel about this album. So I'm very curious to hear his thoughts. But we'll go around the table here, and we'll start with our favorite song, and we'll start with Mr. CB, Mr. Christopher Brown. What would be your favorite track on this album?
Oh, I don't know. There was a bunch of stuff I liked on this, but I'm gonna go with Venger. probably the obvious single for this album. I don't know if there were singles or whatnot, or what songs were pushed, but that one just seems like an obvious contender just for having vocals alone. The beat was driving as all get out, which made it a lot of fun, but also I really like just that sort of vocal where there's a lot of just soaring happening with shitloads of reverb, and the melody isn't too complicated or anything like that. That's just it's a satisfying itch that gets scratched with certain songs.
Love a good scratch. I'm going to jump on that as well. That is my favorite track on this album. I love her voice. I love the timbre of her voice. And I think she really does a great job of kind of conveying the kind of like a distressed emotion, which kind of goes in line with the lyrical content of the songs. I think she did a really good job of pulling that off and kind of fitting that into this track like fucking perfectly. And like you said,
I liked it.
No, it's all right. And and what, like Christopher said, just the beat and the music alone, even if her vocals weren't in the song, it's pretty badass. So yeah, all right. I'm gonna save Patrick for last, and I'm gonna go over to Mr. Eric Marks. Don't look so sad, Patrick.
My favorite track was "She Moves Like a Knife." I believe actually was a single that was released sometime before the actual album was completed. I think the thing that I really appreciate about this song is it really shows Mr. Kent's metal background, because it's basically got metal riffs like all throughout it. And it's a sort of mix of electronic and metal that feels different than what we're used to hearing, which it usually sort of takes the form of like industrial. And to kind of hear it more towards the electronic side of things is just sort of like really unique and refreshing. And for personal reasons, I first discovered Perturbator and through the song through a YouTube video called Jean-Claude Van Damme Kill Count. It's a 40-minute montage video of every single time Jean-Claude Van Damme kills someone, and it's got an amazing synthwave soundtrack, and this shows up. So I can't hear the song without thinking about like Time Cop and Street Fighter and Son of Death. So it just it brings me joy.
Yeah, and the song, I think we mentioned in the chat, it comes right in and it just fucking punches you right in the dick. Like, it doesn't hold back. It's just, it slams right in. And you're in it. You're on the roller coaster of perturbating for a good six matings.
You had it right.
Jesus, I didn't even eat any weed candy today, and I kept on.
6 cum cycles. That's what they call them.
Yeah, my note for this was just Castlevania with an exclamation point, and I think that ties in really well, Eric, with what you were saying about metal and electronic meeting, because I think that Castlevania music is that meeting point. That is where those genres shake hands.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
Yeah, I wrote that this was a lost level for Sonic the Hedgehog. I could just picture Sonic zipping around, getting those rings, getting hit, losing all his rings, picking them back up again, then getting hit again,
going underwater, and then having the music speed up as he slowly drowns.
Yeah.
The lost cyberpunk level takes place in 2019, but like by way of 1982. Something like that. I don't know.
All right, Patrick, you're up.
My favorite track was Femme Fatale. But I'm gonna agree with Eric and Jim or rather, Eric and Christopher that Wenger was a pretty great song as well. I think that was the first
that was
track
me.
with
That was
vocals.
Christopher and I.
Yeah, I'm the Philistine.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Christopher and Jim.
Come on, man.
Eric
Pay
likes the
attention.
knife song. He likes the knife because he wants to give me PTSD.
That song reminded me of
muffin
English
knife.
muffins. That's why I liked it. I like muffins, and they like me.
So I really liked how there were some live drums. It was sort of the first instance of an acoustic instrument, or it was the first time I really noticed just space in acoustics. This album is very, 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 very densely produced. There's a lot that sort of happens all at once, and through those first 3 tracks are pretty relentless, and then you get to track 4, and it's got this nice jazzy feel to it. Really nice rim clicks, surprisingly boomy, like kind of jazz style kick drum, and then just like really gorgeous textures with the Rhodes, upright bass, and I think saxophone, or maybe some synths trying to like mimic sax at points. And yeah, just like nice changes. Yeah, just good shit. I really liked that track a lot.
Yeah, it was definitely a good break from the onslaught that you were talking about, for sure. I feel like if that wasn't there, it would definitely be a little taxing on the brain to just have that onslaught, just four on the floor, like bah, 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 for fucking.
Is
however
Perturbator
long
in
it's
here? My God.
But
John Perturbator, is that you?
Boom, boom, boom.
I wrote that this is the song. This song reminds me of, like, you know, you got like an 80s like buddy cop movie, and the protagonist finds out that his cop buddy has died, and now he's, you know, this is the somber song. He's going back to his apartment. He's pouring a glass of whiskey, and it's very dark. It's somber.
Oh, yeah, very film noir.
Yeah.
And this features an Israeli producer by the name of Highway Superstar. I don't know anything else about him. I just looked him
Highway
up.
Superstar. That is what you are.
No, it's Bourbon never gonna be my cock. Not every day. Come on, everybody, gonna ride my car. Gonna Highway Superstar. Yeah,
That sounds about it.
that's Greta Van Fleet,
Yeah.
right?
Greta Van Orange.
Yeah. Greta Van Link. All right, cool. We tied it on back.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Greta Link. I'm really sorry. I do not mean to associate you with
You
that.
got a great voice.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Patrick, stop perturbating over there. Jesus Christ.
All right,
We can
all
all
right,
see
I'll
you.
Control myself. You wish.
Christopher, least favorite track.
I am going to go with The Cult of 2112. Rationale for that is that this is it's a long album, not necessarily because it's, you know, the longest album I've ever heard or anything like that, but there's a lot going on with this. I was starting to get a little bit of listener fatigue. I actually had to turn it down at a certain point, which is always kind of a bummer. And this is the song where it kind of stopped being worth it for me to have the volume up and to be listening to it loud, just because I was just losing focus, because there was a little bit of sameness that was happening for a handful of tracks, and this one just kind of didn't feel worth it to me. Fortunately, the album picked up a little bit after that, but yeah, that was the part where I was just kind of like, all right, I'm checking my watch.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. But I'll save my thoughts.
Yeah, no, I'll jump in on that too. Not for the Cult of 2112, but I actually had the track before it, Assault. That was where I kind of zoned out for a bit, and I felt like when it got to Assault, like you said, it started to get kind of samey. I felt like I had heard this song already on this album. And I thought that maybe if you removed Assault and the Cult of 2112 out of this album completely, it would probably result in a higher rating for me on this album altogether, just because, like we said with Femme Fatale, like they kind of gave you a nice little break between the onslaught, and I felt like by the time we get to Assault, that would have been nice to have another little bit of a kind of break there to, like you said, maybe relieve yourself of that listener fatigue.
Yeah, agreed. Assault had that great drop, though, right around 2:30 in it.
I don't remember it.
You know, at 2:30. You know,
time to see the dentist.
That iconic timestamp.
Oh, the dentist's favorite time.
Truth hurting.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Stupid fucking baby.
This episode is brought to you by Stupid Fucking Baby.
They need the most attention.
They do. There's going to be a lot of good options for episode titles. I've already got some good ones. I'm thinking of. Eric, what was your least favorite track?
I definitely agree that the sort of back end of this album starts to drag a little bit. I've listened to it enough times where I can kind of power through it. For me, the weakest track is Weapons for Children, which is the second track. For me, that track in particular gets a little too video gamey for my taste, which, I mean, given the genre, that shouldn't necessarily be a complaint, but that one in particular just sounds like someone farted on like a Double Dragon boss theme. I think it kind of does a disservice to how good the middle of this album is. I think had I not heard some of the singles that came out of this album before the album came out, I would have been kind of leery of what the rest of the album would sound like, aside from that. It's something about it doesn't feel like it fits in.
Yeah, no, I definitely get the video game. I mean, a lot of this album sounds like it could be the soundtrack to a video game, but this one particularly, I wrote, this is the song where you're on the last level and you're approaching the boss. You're not at the boss yet, but this is the music you get when leading up to the boss.
Mini boss.
A lot of the tracks in this album definitely sound like they could be the soundtrack to a video game, but that's the only one that feels like it doesn't stand on its own.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like it has to be part of a video game soundtrack.
Mr. Patrick.
So I had a couple to choose from. Actually, Weapons for Children was one of the contenders, just because I think when thinking back to it in context with some of the other songs at the beginning of the album, it definitely felt like the weakest and the most video gamey. But I'm actually going to go with Diabolus Ex Machina. And it's for pretty much the same reasons that you guys chose Assault in 2112. That was actually the point where I had kind of had enough. And I wrote, I want this album. I'm done. I ready to throw in the towel. And I think, yeah, Cult of 2112 definitely would have been my pick, but I think just to be interesting, I'm going to go with this one. Yeah, no, it was a little too video gamey, and it was definitely where I started to check out. But I did like that guitar solo.
I was going to say, the guitar solo saves the track. That's the only reason I didn't pick that one, because I'm in the same boat where that was the point where I was like, all right, this is starting to get a little bit samey, but then the guitar solo saves it.
Right.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. MVP, Christopher.
Weapons for Children. That intro. Bass lines and the pads, I really liked what was going on there.
Bass lines and pads, all right.
Yep, just that intro. The rest of the song kind of went downhill for me, but that intro was was pretty killer.
You started off strong, kid, and then you shit your pants.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they shit their pants, but there was definitely an emergency.
Oh, no, they definitely shit their pants.
Oh, just look at them. Oh, the humanity. Look at all that.
It
God.
Started out.
Is that corn? Oh, God.
Started out good, but then before you know it, he's taking a shit at the Kmart.
I mean, that's not unheard of.
That's
why they went out of. That's why Kmart.
A lot of trouble there.
Kmart went out of business because of that.
I mean, there were many reasons Kmart went out of business, but sure. I mean, I told you about how I used to work at Kmart, right?
I don't think so.
This is a shit-related...
You found a poop?
Yeah, I found a poop at Kmart. It was in the back-to-school section. Someone had...
a rogue poop?
Yeah, someone had wrapped a mess of feces into a bunch of lined paper and just left it, curled up. So I picked it up, and, I don't know what my instinct was that made me, open it up a little bit, but I saw what was inside, so I just dropped it. And I went up to a loss prevention guy, and I'm like, you guys can deal with this. I am not fucking touching this.
Loss prevention. I don't even think they're qualified for it either. I think you need biohazard or something.
Oh, it's great. The dude that I work with
has a lot of...
to.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no problem. The dude that I worked with that I was talking to about it, the loss prevention guy, was this complete fucking meatball. Just nothing going on upstairs whatsoever. And I tell him this. I'm like, yeah someone put a shit inside some lined paper, so we need someone to clean that up. And his response is, are you shitting me? And then after a minute, he's like, well, no, bad choice of words.
I disagree. I'd say it's a perfect choice of words.
I've noticed that Christopher has a lot of poop trauma in his life. We've heard this story. We heard the story about the poop ball getting rolled between the stalls.
Yeah, the poopatrator.
The poopatrator. Yeah. My favorite poop story was actually not. It was previous guest Tom Ribeiro talked about in elementary school. He went into the bathroom and somebody had written the word "fuck" on the wall with a shit.
Oh, and, no. The way you just held your hand suggests that they held it like it was a jumbo-sized crayon. I don't like that.
Just fucking fuck. Just like a big piece of chalk.
There was actually, at our practice space, in 8mm Fuzz's practice space way back when, the Denby Road Sound Museum in Alston, there was a dude who, we don't know what the story was, but in the men's bathroom, there was frequently, shit on the walls. And, it would get cleaned, and then there would just be more later on. So, clearly, someone who was, renting a space there was playing with their shit. And it got to the point where I actually wrote a note and hung it up in there that just said, please refrain from playing with shit, and, hung it in the stall.
Yeah, it was Oliver the Chimp. He'd get frustrated during band practice, and he'd go in there and he'd fling his poop at the wall.
Yeah, his I remember his stint in Alston. That was a weird time to be a part of that scene.
Real talk, though, I do think I know who it was, because there was one person that just kind of stuck out from the rest in that building.
You can share it in a private chat.
Oh, I don't know his name. He was just an older dude who wore a weird leather jacket. It was like a punk leather jacket, but nothing about this guy stuck out as punk otherwise. It's almost like he got it like secondhand or something.
Was it Mark K?
Yeah, it could have been. Anything is possible.
Oh, that guy. So my MVP moment, I'm gonna go. I had two, but I'm gonna go with the lead saw line at the end of "She Moves Like a Knife." That really just ties that fucking song together.
Tickles your pickle.
Like a knife.
Yeah, dude. It cut my wrist like a knife. That saw lead. It sawed right through like a frozen English muffin into my brain. Eric,
Neat.
what's your MVP sports moment?
MVP moment for me is the drop in Disco Inferno and the lead up to it.
Oh yeah, that's stupendous.
So many synthwave albums try to sell this concept that they are the soundtrack to a movie that doesn't exist, and that drop in particular is the only one that convinces me that holy shit, this could be from an actual movie. Like the lead up is like a guy reloading a shotgun, and then like as soon as the drop hits, like all the action starts going down. I fucking love that drop. It's so good.
Man, this could have been in Hardcore Henry.
Exactly.
This could have been in Baby's Day.
The Wreck-It.
Baby's Revenge.
which is a great movie, by the way. I fucking love Baby's Day Out.
Oh, I fucking hate baby movies.
The OG.
Baby movies can go fuck right off. Whether it's 3 Men and a Baby, Look Who's Talking, Baby Geniuses, anything that's trying to sell me on watching a baby for an hour and a half, go fuck yourself. I have no time for that shit.
What about Boss Baby?
Yeah, same. Even the charm of my close personal friend Alec Baldwin cannot draw me into that.
Does this go back to your poop trauma?
Maybe. Could all be connected. I mean, you've got plenty of space at your new house there. If you want to get some yarn and start tying some shit together on the wall, you might be able to figure me out.
No, I'm right there with you. Keep children out of my art. Just keep it the fuck away. No singing, no babies. Yes, I'm calling the movies art. Have it be, I don't know.
Well, it's just like a baby crawling somewhere it shouldn't be crawling is like concerning, not funny. Like, okay, yeah, let's take this baby and let's have it crawl around a construction site. That's going to be a real funny 10-minute scene for this movie that 10 people will see and will probably just use as a tax dodge.
I thought it was pretty funny.
No, it's okay. If Joe Mantegna gets hit in the nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, we know so much more now about, like, you know, human trafficking and you know, kidnappings and everything. And just, yeah, I mean, there's a lot more for babies to worry about. They just can't have a day out like they used to.
Things have changed since the
I
90s.
miss being a baby and being able to go out.
True.
You know?
Pre-COVID, babies, but you know, they had the lay of the land, you know?
Yeah, every day was their big day out.
Yeah.
Fucking couldn't go anywhere without tripping over fucking babies.
Oh, yeah.
Sidewalks were just lousy with babies.
Yeah. I had to bust out my power washer and had to spray them into the
This
gutters
is like
and,
this conversation is teetering onto the dead baby joke side of things. So we're gonna move on to Patrick's MVP moment.
I remember those.
You guys remember 2000?
You guys remember Newgrounds?
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. We were just having a discussion about All Your Bass before the show started.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I watched the video. Yes, classic. I'm gonna go with the sax solo in Femme Fatale. Just kind of an obviously great moment that I thought was just really nice.
That one?
But yeah, sure. And
This one's a great jazz musician.
I already did that. I liked that moment, but I think if I'm gonna pick one that's more in concert with the concept of the album, I would probably go with the modular synth that happens towards the end of Femme Fatale. It's doing this really cool melody. It's a nice, different added electronic texture coming back in that sort of helps reintroduce you to the cyberpunk concept a little bit, and then brings you right into Disco Inferno, which I also thought was a pretty cool track. But I like that sax. I like that stinky old sax.
Yeah. It smells like sax in here. What do we do now? Comparable album? Shit, I don't think I have one. Christopher, go ahead.
Well, you have time. About 10 seconds. Mine is Skinny Puppy's Great or Wrong of the Right. I think a lot of the stuff that is coming out with the synthwave sort of movement, if you will, is actually drawing a lot from a lot of the different popular things that Skinny Puppy did. And this record is actually only from about 15 years ago, so I think it's right in the wheelhouse of being influential and whatnot to them kids who are making this here music. So yeah, I think it shares a lot of sonic ground with this. It's not quite as heavy on the side chaining, which is I think one thing that's a little unfortunate about electronic music these days, is that it just leans a little too hard into side chaining everything to provide some sort of sense of rhythm. But other than that, yeah, it's on the same wavelength.
All right, fair enough. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, so I'm gonna go with Square Pusher's Hard Normal Daddy, because this is an electronic album and that's an electronic album.
Going with Silver Apples, self-titled.
Eric, you got one?
Band called Mega Hammer. The album is Raw Licks and Sleazy Flicks.
It's a good name.
I'm trying to think the best way to put it. If this album is like Terminator and Blade Runner, that album is Samurai Cop and Miami Connection.
Miami Connection! I fucking love that movie.
The album the album cover art is like a ninja and like a sexy lady cop. It is not a good album, but it's a comparable album.
Fair enough.
Patrick?
Oddly enough, I stumbled upon an album, a comparable album just this week, looking for new music in Boston. So this is actually a Boston artist by the name of Botnit, Botnit, and he put out a record a few years ago called To the Max. And it's like very
similar to the core, angelic to the core.
Very similar, similar timbres, but the music's actually pretty good. So yeah, he's using a lot of 80s era synths, a lot of Jupiter 8 synth, and I think he messes with some CS80 and maybe some Prophet 5. But yeah, you're getting a lot of those same kind of harsh, on the edge, or like kind of the on the edge of digital synth, just like starting to become a thing in like the early mid '80s, coming in, and yeah, just kind of a similar concept here. It's a little, it's not quite as cyberpunk and a little more fucking Power Glove, I guess. But yeah, kind of similar idea.
What was the artist name again?
Botnit. Botnit.
All right.
It sounds like a bug.
Yeah.
Like burrow into your
know.
skin. Oh, I'm thinking of the botfly. That's why.
I thought you meant like a virus type thing. Yeah, my uncle opened up an email and now his computer is riddled with botnet.
I'm trying to think if there's there's like a vernacular where there's like instead of saying net, you say knit. Hey, you browsing the internet?
No,
Johnny, are you looking at porn on the internet again?
Yes.
You're 37. Get out of the house.
Okay.
I don't know why, but that just led me to when a stranger calls, and all I could think of is the internet porn is coming from inside the house.
All right, let's rate this, Christopher.
I'm gonna give it a 7. Not a strong 7, not a soft 7, but a 7.
Smack in the middle.
Yes. If this record lost Assault in the Cult of 2112, I would give this an 8 because I really enjoyed most of this album. It was right up my alley for the most part, but there was just too much of it. The songs were too long to have as many tracks on this record as there are, and I just started getting genuine listener fatigue just from the overproduction and what have you of it. So, yeah, for that reason, 7. Might get higher, but I don't see myself kind of getting over Assault or the Cult of 2112. Though I probably will grab this on the next Bandcamp day where they waive all their fees and whatnot.
Cool. I'm gonna go with a soft 8. Same sentiments as Christopher. I feel like you could nix Assault and Cult of 2112, and this would probably be more in the 9 range for me. I think this album kicks ass. Eric showed me this, which is why he's here today. No, it's just it's a good segue between somebody who listens to like heavy music or metal music and it's like, oh, well, what's electronic music all about? This is probably something I would throw towards them and be like, well, check this out and see what you think. It's definitely got a lot of that, and I like that he uses a lot of guitar. No, I guess not all of it, but towards the back end of the album, there's some more guitar stuff going on that I thought that was pretty cool. And the other thing about this album, this was like when I would go do work down in the data center and I was by myself, I would throw this on and I would just feel like a fucking badass just listening to this and doing all kinds of computer shit. So yeah, a soft 8. Eric.
Yeah, I think I'm going to mirror those sentiments. I think taken as a whole, the album gets I'd say it gets an 8 from me. Taken in the pieces that are really in my wheelhouse, like pretty much the entire middle of the album, I think kind of peaks up at a 10 at certain points. But yeah, it runs a little long in the tooth. It's been a little while since I've listened to this one start to finish, and I'm kind of remembering why I haven't. But it's definitely the sort of thing where if it successfully evokes the images that it's trying to evoke, which I can't say necessarily works for a lot of synthwave, because a lot of it is, as much as I like a lot of synthwave, it definitely seems like it tries to focus its vision in this very narrow wheelhouse of like, hey, remember Outrun? Outrun was cool. And that's fun, but I mean, a lot of synthwave artists have kind of failed to sort of evolve since like 2013. And Perturbator is one of the few that seems like they're actually trying to expand out a little bit more. So I have pretty good appreciation for that.
Yeah, Eric and I went to a Perturbator show, and it exceeded all of my expectations.
It was great. I got so drunk that I managed to lose a T-shirt on the way from the venue back to the car.
I heard that Pee Wee Herman got busted in a Perturbator.
I get it.
So I'm glad you guys didn't get caught.
Yeah, making some
we,
Paul
we were
Rubens jokes.
perturbating all over the place.
I made Danielle
that
watch
was-
Pee Wee's Big Adventure a couple weeks back because she had never seen it, and it's a fun movie. It holds up.
It's been a while for me.
You've
I
got to
should
give
go
it like 20 minutes because the first 20 minutes of it are pretty rough. It's just like a cartoon for 20 minutes, and then it actually starts happening.
Yeah, I remember at the Perturbator show, there was this chick that was like moshing, and she kept like slamming into me and then getting mad at me. And at one point, she was like screaming at me, and I was just like, "Lady, I don't know what you want me to do." And she fell down at one point, and like I tried to help her up, and she kept yelling at me, and I was just like, "Get away from me if you're gonna yell at me." I don't know, but it was a cool show.
It was a really fun show.
Patrick, what would you rate this Perturbator album?
This gets an A for effort.
An A for effort.
A for effort. Good job, Jimmy Kent. No, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I'm very much in the same boat as Christopher, although I don't necessarily think synthwave is my thing. There's a couple variables affecting this number. Synthwave not being my thing is one thing. I think I can handle maybe one or two songs of it, and then I'm ready to move on to something else. That's just probably why I appreciated the more understated moments on this record more, because there was a lot of intensity, and I get why people think that shit is awesome, and I'll admit it's very exciting and stirring. And then maybe after about like 10 minutes of it, I'm ready for a break. I think it was too long, of course. Definitely trim a few tracks off, would have been a little more palatable. And just not enough acoustic instrumentation for my taste. I really appreciated the moments where he brought those in. I really liked him I would have liked to hear more guitar. I think the clean guitar with the sort of chorus texture sounded great whenever it was introduced, and even the sort of wanky guitar solo-y stuff, because it still puts you in that 80s wheelhouse, but it's not so cold. It's not, it's not quite as distant. You get a little more warmth there, and it's a little more inviting for someone like me. I thought there were really cool chord progressions all over the record. This dude is very talented writer, for sure. He's got that sort of French pop sophistication thing going on that I'm always a big fan of, like other artists like Air and Daft Punk and shit like that. But a little more aggressive, obviously, with his kind of metal background. But that would be my rating. I don't know that I would necessarily listen to this again, but I thought it was pretty cool.
All right. That's actually higher than I expected, so cool.
Yeah, I had some thoughts.
I know you did.
You did. That's good, though. No, that's good. It's good to introduce something to me that.
Right. No, I agree. For sure.
Gives some discussion. I think. The dude put in a lot of effort. Obviously, I'm not going to be like, it's fine because he's not enough dulcimer, not enough Appalachian acoustic instrumentation to bring me back to my roots. The dude obviously. It sounds great. It's produced really well, and the dude knows what he's doing. And I would be kind of curious to hear other projects of his, for sure. I don't know. That's it.
Well, then you should definitely check out Perturbator. That's where he rubs dirt all over himself.
Ooh.
And don't forget about Yogurbator, where he rubs yogurt all over himself.
Yogurt? Perturbator. Good stuff.
Perturbator sounds like something that a plumber uses to unclog your shit pipe. It's like, I'll be $500. I had to break out the Perturbator and shove it down your shitter.
I love that you just referred to a toilet as a shit pipe. I got my shit.
Very professional language.
Okay.
Man, another episode for Emily right here.
I don't think she listens anymore.
Probably a good
She gave
idea on
up.
her
I think
part.
she gave up on us.
I don't even listen anymore.
Yeah, actually, it was there. I think I'm actually a couple behind now that I think about it.
I am too. I've been listening to music like an idiot lately. I'm just I haven't put on any pods in a while. I'm surprised I still know how to do them.
Yeah, I haven't been listening to anything. I just fucking sit there and stare at my screen and listen to my tinnitus ringing in my ear. And contemplate my existence during these trying times.
Jesus. I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah. Christopher, you got anything you want to plug?
Nah, fuck it. I don't feel like plugging anything.
All right. I don't really have anything to plug. I'm still working on the studio. Surprise! The studio that I thought I was going to build in 2 months is taking roughly a year. But yeah, I worked on the lounge. I'm getting a pinball machine in the lounge. I'm excited about that. And,
Shit, dude.
yeah, Emily's dad has a pinball. I didn't show
Fucking,
it
of
to
course he
Eric?
does. Of course he
Yeah.
does.
Of course he does.
You've
yeah.
seen the barn. Anything you could ever need is in that barn. So
I think I saw the pinball machine. in
yeah,
there.
oh yeah, you've been there too, Patrick. So I saw it one day and I was like, "Is that a fucking pinball machine?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, somebody owed me money, so I took it." So it's been sitting in the garage for like 20 years, and I was like, "Hey, can I just have that?" And he was like, "Yeah, I guess I'm not doing anything with it." He's like, "You just can't sell it." And I was like, "All right, fair enough." I guess the ball return on it's broken, so I got to fix that, but I can't imagine that's too difficult. So, yep. I blew out the wall in the lounge and made it a little bit bigger, and I redid the walls, and I'm putting a nice couch in there, and I'm going to mount a TV, and I'm going to have a pinball machine and a stereo, and I actually ran wiring so that what's being played in the control room will play in the lounge as well. So,
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's really
Yeah.
cool, actually.
yeah, I thought that would be pretty neat. So,
Hard wiring?
yep.
Or
Yep, it's hardwired.
Yeah, awesome. Fuck that Wi-Fi
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Fuck you, Sonos.
So I've been working on that. I haven't updated my blog. I told myself today maybe I'll update it, but I probably won't because I keep saying I'm gonna, and then I don't. Eric, do you have anything you want to plug?
Jean-Claude Van Damme kill count video.
Nice. Yeah, go check that out.
Will
You have
do.
40 minutes to kill. Why not? Patrick?
I don't know. Jukebox Zeros, other podcasts that I do on the Zero Science Network. We're wrapping up season 3 this month, actually. So yeah, check that out. We're doing an episode with Kat Verlico of the Knockups. We're covering Chris Gaines, that record. Everyone's favorite. So that should be a pretty fun episode. And also doing my other film show that Christopher and I do, Must Watch Movies, doing an episode with Nate Nemitz on Jaws, because apparently we are the only 2 people in the universe that have never seen
Well,
Jaws.
I was going to say, technically Eric has and hasn't, because we went to the drive-in to watch Jaws, and
my
he was
God.
going to watch for the first time, and some asshole in a Volkswagen Beetle wouldn't shut their engine off, and it was like the loudest Volkswagen Beetle
Yeah,
ever,
those
and
things are
nobody could
fucking
hear
loud.
the movie.
And I was just getting
Interesting.
angrier and angrier and angrier.
We're gonna need a bigger ears.
So technically Eric hasn't seen it. He's seen it, but he hasn't heard it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that qualifies, but that's good to know. Yeah, and then I don't know. I got some new music stuff coming out. Some kind of exciting music news coming out pretty soon. So stay tuned for that too. That's it.
All right. Cool. What are you listening to these days, Eric, for podcasts? Are you listening to anything?
Honestly, now that I don't have a commute anymore, my podcast listening has dropped precipitously. So it was something I would usually do while like driving to and from work. Now I don't have that anymore, so I don't listen to anything.
I was trying to tell my boss today. He was just like, because I just came back from vacation. He's like, so how you doing? And I was like, I was kind of dropping hints like, I really, really, really like this work from home thing. I don't think I want to go back. So we'll see what happens. They told us basically we're not going back at all in 2020. So I'm at least gonna get all of 2020 work from home, and then I'll try to nudge it in the right direction from there.
Good.
God only knows how the fuck things are going to go. Anyway,
nothing's improved or anything.
Yeah, shit's getting worse.
Yeah, change.
Go Texas!
Good shit.
Go banana!
Yeah.
I never thought that Texas was going to be a situation that would, let's just say, resolve itself.
Who thought that those rapscallions would
they'd figure out how to take care of the problem.
would mess around?
Here's the thing: is like I expected out of Florida because I've lived in Florida and I've been to Florida. I know a lot of people in Texas, and they're pretty smart people, and I feel really bad that they're surrounded by such dumb right now. But Florida is like whatever. Like we knew that was going to happen with Florida. Like it's not a surprise.
Thank you to our listeners in Florida and Texas. Thank you guys. Not visiting your state anytime soon.
Yeah, no, we're waiting for the problem to take care of itself.
That's how it's done, baby. I gotta go pee.
All right. I guess we can wrap this up. Thank you, Eric, for joining us again. Once again on the Old Men Yell at Cloud for the album listening and the review time.
Yeah, it was good to see you guys again. It was good to see anybody.
Yeah,
it's good to see people.
Wow, people.
That's novel.
Yeah, I know.
Are you wearing a Perturbator shirt right now?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Excellent.
Was that on purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's as good as when Johnny showed up like dressed in full Chino garb.
He brought like pictures of him meeting
patches.
Chino and stuff.
That was very nice.
All right. This has been Old Men Yell at Cloud, another wonderful installment. My name is Jim.
My name used to be Christopher.
Who else is here?
I'm Eric. It was nice to see all of you.
This is Nigel.
All right.
This is Michael Caine. Michael Caine is here.
All right. Goodbye.
Good night.
Remember a time when the internet wasn't a cesspool? When Nickelback was not the lazy comedian's punchline? When The Last Jedi or Ghostbusters didn't ruin anyone's childhood? We do. Nickelbackin' is a monthly podcast hosted by three longtime friends who really just need an excuse to shoot the shit. But in the meantime, they'll call out some internet hyperbole bullshit while they're at it. Do you secretly enjoy the smooth taste of Dunkin' Donuts coffee? Maybe you're a fan of the work of Jim Carrey. Hell, maybe you even like Nickelback. We don't, but we're in their corner, and by default, we're in your corner too. Listen to Nickelbackin' on the Zero Science Network, wherever you download podcasts.
Imagine you're in a crowded elevator and it breaks down. You begin to sweat, trapped in 10 square feet with 10 other people. But don't worry, you've got e-instants from New Hampshire iLottery right on your phone. So relax, play those games and win. Don't worry about dangling in a metal box 5 stories high. It's fine, just another Tuesday. New Hampshire iLottery e-instant games, one of the many ways to play your way.
Get to Kohl's and take an extra 25% off Adidas for the entire family. Plus, with an extra 15% off, get up to 50% off the Big One bedding. And save on Nike athletic shoes for kids. Plus, get Kohl's Cash. Plus, limited contact store drive up. Right now at Kohl's and Kohl's.com.
Offers valid July 17th through July 26th. 15% offer with promo code BIG SAVINGS. 25% off Adidas. Offers and coupons do not apply. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.